South African police just dismantled 350 million meth lab in Bumalanga. 5 foreign nationals were arrested. A caretaker was caught with ammunition. And the police say this could be one of the biggest busts in recent years. But this story is much bigger than the drug raid. It raises uncomfortable questions about South Africa's immigration system, the vulnerability of our youth, intelligence failures, and the obvious one, possible corruption within government. Now, let's unpack this. On the 19th of September, SAPS raided a farm in Bumalanga as part of Operation Shanela. I think it's called Shanela 2. So the officers found crystal meth worth over 350 million rands. This was stored in lunch boxes and freezers. They also found chemicals and drug manufacturing equipment. 5 foreign nationals were arrested. Illegal foreigners, I must add. And the scene was later handed over to the Hawks for further investigation. So on paper, this looks like a win. But the deeper story is far more concerning. This case reignites the immigration debate. We often hear about African foreign nationals in illegal activities, but this bust included suspects from North America too. So people who argue on the side of illegal immigrants staying and using services in South Africa often bring up this debate that a lot of South Africans who are saying that illegal immigrants should go do not give the same energy when dealing with immigrants from other parts of the world, like Europe. They often say that it's coming from a xenophobic place because we do not give the same energy in fighting illegal immigrants from other parts of the world. But that's a whole different conversation. Anyway, this shows that South Africa is attractive to global syndicates, not just regional ones. We are basically a crime scene. Not only are other Africans able to sneak in and do as they wish, even people from other parts of the world know that this is a space where you can pretty much do anything you like. In July last year, 2024, a military camp was discovered in the same province, Bumalanga. I think the part is called White River. So this camp had Libyan nationals, and they were all found to have entered the country illegally. Before even talking about the fact that they had the whole military camp in a foreign country. So this shows us that weak enforcement of immigration law undermines national security. As such, it exposes us to drug cartels and criminal groups. Beyond immigration though, these busts highlight a deeper social issue. That is South Africa's youth and drug epidemic. Drugs will always thrive where hopelessness and unemployment is high. I know I talk about this on almost every video I make, but I think it's our reality. So it has to be a recurring theme in videos where we talk about social issues. So South Africa's youth's unemployment rate is just ridiculously high. Young people do not have jobs, meaning that they do not have much to do. And that on its own is just stressful and it causes hopelessness. When people have little opportunity, they are more likely to turn to drugs for escape. This isn't rocket science. We know about cheap dopamine. Drugs provide an instant relief in a tough environment. So a drug lab, such as the one which was busted in Mpumalanga, provides easy access for drugs. It obviously supplies many townships. And of course, young people do not have much to do. In order to make money, they'll want to sell those drugs. And other young people, in order to relieve stress, they will want to take those drugs. Now you're creating a new drug economy in townships, right? Which leads to other problems. One is addiction. Also, it leads to gang culture and even further crime. I don't even want to dwell into how bad drug use is for society, because I believe any average person should know that. So the long-term impact of this drug use and circulation, easy access, is weaker workforce, destroyed families, and higher healthcare costs. So it's basically slow poison. Now I have to ask, how did such a massive operation go undetected for so long? For such a large-scale lab to exist, intelligence services must have missed it. So how the police got to find out about this is There was some event, I believe, in Bumalanga, and there were a lot of government officials. So people from the community raised concerns. Upon doing so, they tipped off these government officials about a lab which was running in that community. So if it wasn't for a tip-off from the community, this lab would still be running. That's concerning. What's going on? Is our intelligence underfunded, corrupt, or simply asleep? Not so long ago, General Mkwanazi made very serious allegations which implicated government officials, even the judiciary, and our president claimed that he was hearing about them for the first time. Either he was telling the truth, which means our intelligence isn't reporting properly, or intelligence is completely compromised. Both options show complete dysfunction in state security. Honestly, I find it hard to believe that an operation worth hundreds of millions runs without protection from the inside. Syndicates rarely operate alone. They often need protection. As I already said, government officials were tipped off by the community. So the police station in that, or police officers in that community ought to have known that this was going on, unless they're not doing their job. Also, South Africa has already seen state capture in other sectors. Why would a drug trade be any different? So this bust should make us ask, was this lab really hidden from the officials? Or was it protected until pressure forced action? This 350 million bust isn't just about drugs. It's about immigration, intelligence failures, corruption, and the vulnerability of South Africa's youth. If one farm in Bumalanga can hide such a massive operation, how many more are out there right now? What do you think? Is South Africa winning the war against drugs? Or is this just the tip of the iceberg? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.